This ABC15 flash briefing is sponsored by Sanderson Ford. All roads lead to Sanderson Ford.
Hello, I'm Megan Thompson with your top stories from ABC15 Arizona. The city of Phoenix now has until November 4th to clean up the homeless encampment known as the Zone. A new court ruling yesterday giving that deadline after an ongoing legal battle that started in August of last year. 475 people are still living in the downtown area. Business owners we spoke with had helped sue the city, emotional over the news.
How are you feeling reading that order today?
First time I read through it, it kind of brought me to tears because we've been working a long time, on getting the city to realize what they've created.
The city says they are disappointed by the ruling, telling ABC15 they are reviewing it and exploring their legal options. A crackdown now on short-term rentals. We've seen it happening in other cities across Arizona. Now Phoenix is stepping up. City council voting last night to change city code, allowing for additional regulations through a short-term rental permit process. Some of the requirements include registering with the Maricopa County Assessor's Office, notifying their neighbors of the intent to operate a short-term rental, and requiring criminal background checks. Meantime, Airbnb is cracking down on fake listings. The rental company says it has removed 59,000 fraudulent postings on the site this year. The company plans to start verifying all listings in its top 5 U.S. markets. It also uses artificial intelligence to help weed out some of those fakes. The U.S. economy is getting a much-needed break. The Federal Reserve deciding Wednesday to keep its key interest rate unchanged. But regulators suggest that another increase could come before the end of the year. The current inflation rate is 3.7%, and the Fed wants to bring it down to 2%. To reach that goal, Fed officials now intend to keep rates high until next year. The move will continue to impact the costs of consumer and business loans. And whether you're ready for it or not, student loan repayments will finally resume in October. It's going to affect the pocketbooks of millions of people, but also the overall economy. Financial experts say the repayments have some worry that it could be the tipping point to another American recession. It's not so much student loan repayments alone that could trigger it, but a combination of oil and gas prices, car and housing prices, and more that could cause it. And even though our labor market is really strong right now, all that can get into people's heads.
So psychologically, it could have an effect on them, and even if they're able to pay, at least in the aggregate, they feel poorer as a result and are more cautious or restrained on their spending.
For now, economists are watching closely to see what effect repayments really have on the country's financial picture. Governor Katie Hobbs says she has a plan to keep the Grand Canyon open if the government shutdown does happen. The National Monument brings millions of visitors to Arizona every year. She says the state will use funding made possible through the Arizona Lottery to keep the park open. ADOT's final long-range transportation plan is now out. This will be the blueprint for the state's transportation system over the next 25 years. That final plan includes a projection of $69 billion in transportation revenues between 2026 and 2050. You can read it in full at ADOT2050plan.com. The State Transportation Board will review it next month. Well, here's something fun to do with the family. Why not grab dinner and a show at Oregon Stop Pizza in Mesa? It's a classic. This has been a place for this Valley Classic owner for over 50 years now. Each night in 1927, Wurlitzer organ, which is the largest theater pipe organ ever created, rises above the audience and plays for a 700-seat dining room. This organ has 6,000 pipes, over 1,000 keys, buttons, and switches, linked to a series of xylophones, gongs, trumpets, pianos, and drums, all to create the sound of a full band and orchestra, all rolled into one.
We're actually one of the largest freestanding restaurants in Arizona, and we are home to the very largest Wurlitzer theater pipe organ in the world. I would say you just have to experience it. You will find nothing like this anywhere else.
From rock to Bach to Disney show tunes, they can pretty much play everything. And not to mention, this is just a great place for a bit of nostalgia. For the full story, head on over to our website, abc15.com.
It's all about the winds as we head into our afternoon. We're tracking them in your most accurate forecast. I'm meteorologist Ashley DiMartino. Winds could gust to strong today as 30 miles per hour in the valley, up to 40 miles per hour across northern and eastern Arizona. That week, weather makers definitely going to be dropping our temperatures, even though we don't get any rain out of it. We're only going to make it into the upper 90s or upper 80s, by noon. And then we're going to see upper 90s across the valley for our afternoon highs. Around the state today, we will see 95 for Bullhead City. We're going to see 77 for Prescott, 87 for Globe, 92 for Safford, and we'll see 73 for you in Heber. Overnight temperatures nice and cool too. 38 in Flagstaff tonight, 61 in Globe, 49 in Prescott, and 67 for you in Quartzsite. So our afternoon temperatures continue to drop. We'll hit 96 on Friday and Saturday. First full weekend of fall Saturday and Sunday. Nice and dry out there. Temperatures though triple digits Sunday through Wednesday.
For the latest headlines, weather, and traffic, head on over to ABC15.com or download our free ABC15 mobile app.
This ABC15 flash briefing is sponsored by Sanders and Ford. All roads lead to Sanders and Ford.